Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? We are going to be taking a look at a Masterverse New Eternia Clawful. As you can see here in the package, he is a deluxe figure. He comes with a few extra things. I feel like the package is really huge. They probably could have fit some of this stuff in a smaller box, but they wanted to give us that deluxe view. And I'm okay with that because that leaves for a pretty good piece of real estate on the back of this box for some cool artwork. On this side of the box, we just have Clawful, warrior with a grip of evil. On this side of the box, we've got some really cool artwork. And I've still got to arrange my table. I'm running out of space back here. Then here's that huge piece of artwork on the back. I really like this picture of Clawful here. We'll go ahead and put this little blurb up on the screen, zoom in on that so you can see it a little better. It says, Clawful, warrior with a grip of evil, the nightmarish legends of Clawful are well known among the seafaring adventurers of New Eternia. The king of the Claw people can shipwreck an entire vessel with a single snap. He's been rumored to pillage the wreckage and drag seafarers to the deepest, darkest waters. Captains change course at the mere mention of his name, but they are only rumors, aren't they? So that's a pretty cool little blurb. Also down in this wave, we have Merman, Grizzlor, Buzzoff, and Fakor. Those guys have all been reviewed. They're all up on the channel, so if you want to take a look at any of those videos, just go ahead and get in the Mo2 playlist. So here we're going to get this guy ripped out of the box. The tape's still holding strong all these years later. It does get weak. They just put this one little piece of tape here, and it gets, with dust and stuff, it just gets weak over time. So there we've got big old Clawful pulled out of the plastic, or out of the box. He's still in the plastic prison, isn't he? So let's go ahead and get him out of here. I am not sure whether we got a few bands. So there he is, pulled all out of the package and set up. He stands really well. He's got those really big feet. So we're going to go ahead and go over some of his accessories, and then we'll dive down and take a closer look. All right, so he does come with a one orangish, goldish, kind of shimmery, shiny, marbly looking shield. Really cool. Probably just maybe pull that claw off or something and slide it up over his wrist. I'm not sure exactly how well that's going to fit in here, but we'll give it a try, see if we can figure it out. I know these things have pulled out in the past. This one, oh, there he goes. This one does feel a little bit softer, not as stiff as that Wave 1 He-Man, but I'm still not sure how well that's actually going to fit on his arm. Next, we've got the same color. We've got this chest harness. It's got a little space on the back here so you can plug his weapon into it. It does have like a little gemstone on the front. We'll put this on him just so we can see what it looks like, but I don't think I'm going to be displaying him in this piece. Probably going to keep him as close to the vintage style of looking Clawful as possible. And I just don't think that this piece really is going to add anything. I think the shell looks really nice, and we're going to get close up on him in a little bit, so we'll be able to check out all that detail. Then we have a shoulder pauldron here. It looks like it's going to go over there on his shoulder. Pretty flexible piece of material, so I don't think we're going to have any trouble getting that to slide up his arm. Hopefully it will stay up there once we get it put up there. And then here we have his mace, which Kind of has that retro look. It's got the hand guard here, helps stay in his hand around that claw. So pretty cool, not too flimsy. It's pretty thick, pretty robust piece of plastic. I don't think we got to worry about this bending or breaking or anything like that. It seems to be pretty sturdy. And then we've got this new piece, which was not in the vintage line. It's like this shell back type thing. It's kind of a soft, pliable piece of rubber. It's got the maroonish red, and then it fades up to purple. I'm really liking that. We probably will put this piece on him, even though it's not vintage. It definitely looks cool, and it seems like it goes really well with this Clawful. So as we take a closer look at him here, you can see he's got the big giant claw on this side, and it does articulate. It doesn't have the little snapper that we had on the Origins toy. You have to just manually do it with your finger, but that's all right, and it's going to be the same for this one. You can open it up. Maybe that's it. Oh, okay. So we can close it down a little bit, and then it can open up a little bit. So just depending what you want him to do, what weapons you want him to hold, or what your plans are. He's a good example of what I like when they match the colors. I like how they've got the maroon throughout him. It kind of goes down onto his wrists here. It's not just a straight cut off to this skin tone. The belt matches the boots, and it also matches the tip of this shell, so I think that's really cool. Everything's matching. Nothing's really off-colored on this guy. Probably the weirdest thing would be just the big green mace, or like this orange type stuff. But since we're not going to really be displaying him with that stuff, I'm not too worried about it. I don't even think we're going to display him with the mace. I don't feel like this character needs a weapon. He is equipped with 2 weapons all the time. We've got the little pincher, and then we've got this big giant just body cruncher. So really cool looking figure. I love the new belt style, the more detailed kind of metallic looking belt, the detail in the shell, the ribs. I'm just blown away by the mold on this guy. I knew he was going to be one of my favorites, and I was never planning on taking any of these guys out of the box until I started this channel. And then I, got to unbox them. And man, they're so much cooler when you actually get them in your hand than what they are just, when you're looking at them through the box. You just really can appreciate all of the detail and everything that went into creating this guy. I've been doing a little 3D sculpting myself, so I know the challenges with that, and it's not the easiest thing in the world, and it took a massive amount of talent for somebody to create this figure right here. So I appreciate every single bit of that. We're going to go ahead and get his armor, some of this armor thrown up on him. First, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll put the orange stuff on him first, just so you can kind of see what that looks like. And then I will outfit him the way that I want him to be outfitted, I suppose would be the best way to say it. All right, so here he is set up with his chest harness. We've got the shield in his hand, or in his claw. If you put the shield in the claw, then you cannot hold the mace. The shield or the mace have to go into the left hand. There's no way to fit this into this big giant claw over here. So if you want him to hold the shield, he can't hold the mace. If you want him to hold the mace, he can't hold the shield. So whichever way you want to display him, maybe you don't want to do the shield or the mace, and that is fine as well. The way that I was able to get him to hold on to this, I had to take this claw off, slide it over his wrist, and then position the claw up in there, and it somewhat holds it. I'm not a big fan of this. It doesn't hold it super well. I guess it'll serve the purpose, but it does kind of fall down a little bit. Just be warned about that. This chest harness doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to. It actually doesn't look bad. I'm not going to keep it on there. I prefer him without it, but one thing that I did notice was there is a place on the back of this harness where you can attach the mace across his back. There's also a little thing here that plugs into that. So There, it just snapped in. I'm not sure how well that came across on camera, but I'm not sure how well this big back piece is going to work if we don't use this chest harness. So we're going to take this off. We're going to get rid of the shield and pose him up with the mace real quick and see how this shell on his back works out without that harness, and see if it is still going to be usable or if it's just going to become a accessory set off to the side. Alright, so due to the little neck strap, the shell actually will still work out just fine on his back. There's nothing to clip it into once you take that harness off, but the neck strap still holds it in place, and it just kind of sets right there. It doesn't look too bad at all. Actually, it looks good. So I'm going to keep that part on there. That's going to be my upgrade or addition to Clawful from the vintage era, is he's going to keep that shell on his back because I think it looks really nice. Excuse me. So there he is, posed up with the shell, the mace, and we have dropped the harness. So this is looking really good. I feel like this is how I'm going to display my Clawful. We did go ahead and put the upper arm bracer on as well, or the shoulder pauldron. It's just kind of more a bicep bracer and not so much on his, not so much on his shoulder. So we're going to go with that, the bicep bracer, not the shoulder pauldron. But looking really cool is Clawful here. So now we're going to go ahead and get him broke back down. Actually, we can just pull the weapon out of his hand here. I don't have to take the thing off of his back because I'm going to keep it on there anyway. So let's go ahead and see how he articulates and if this hinders his articulation in any way. So he can look to the left, not surprising. He can look to the right. He's a really cool looking figure. Man, he's moving his way right up into my top 5 for sure. His head does rotate all the way around. He can look up about that far, and then he can look all the way down to the ground, so that's pretty good. He also has that abdominal crunch, so you can really hunch him over and get him looking down if that's what you want him to do. Maybe he's looking for something to eat on the ground there. As far as his arms go, it will go up. He does have a bicep swivel, goes all the way around. It looks like we still have a double jointed elbow here. However, it's not really wanting to move out that much. The claw is actually hitting on the arm, so we can get a little bit of a bend there. You see we've notched it out. Same thing, we got a double jointed arm on this side, swivels all the way around. The claw will spin all the way around, as well as it will open and close. Mine is still a little stiff right now, but it is the bigger piece of the claw on the small claw that will open. And then on the large claw, it is the thumb piece, or the smaller part of the pincher, that's going to open. And this will also spin all the way around. As far as his diaphragm cut, works really well with this guy because he is like all shelly and layered here. So the diaphragm blends right in. He can go back. He can go really far forward. And then he can party boy, go left and right all around. So really cool. Waist will rotate 360 degrees. We do have the thigh cut, double jointed knees. Stiff. That top part's not wanting to bend around on me this morning. Let's see about this one. Yeah, just the bottom of the knee is bending. We'd have to heat it up a little bit to get that top joint to bend a little bit better. We do have swivel at the boot as well as at the ankle. We've got the ankle rocker, and we can point that up and we can point it down. So fully articulated, just like we come to expect from these Masterverse characters. Once you have articulated one, you've pretty much articulated them all. He does not have the drop down hips, so he is an older figure before they added the drop down hips, but he did get the cool new belt. So I'm here for this guy all day long. I think Clawful's a win. He articulates well. He looks really cool. The washes and attention to detail all over him, by far blowing everybody out of the water. He's definitely in my top, he's definitely in my top 10, but I'm thinking Clawful has just worked his way into my top 5 Masterverse characters of all time. So I think that's pretty awesome. Glad to finally get him pulled out of the box. Glad to be able to share him with you guys. That's so fun, just giving me an excuse to get these things out of the boxes and no longer be an in-the-box collector. Like, I was just doing it for myself, not to resell anyway, so getting them out of the box, it actually saves space. I can pose them up really cool. I like how you can just kind of stack them, layer them, do dioramas with them. And he's going to be a figure that you can do a lot of different cool stuff with, because he's just got that look. Not too real, not too cartoony, just that perfect balance right in the middle. I feel like he is a super awesome figure. So there he is, one final look at Clawful. If you could, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. That helps so much get these videos out into the algorithm. Turn your notifications on, that way you get updated to when all the new videos come out. You'll be part of the community, so you'll see posts, polls, and different things like that. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.